Hey, we will be discussing what Markdown is, why it is so popular, and how we can go about using it. So, Markdown is a lightweight markup language. Lightweight here means that the language uses a simple and intuitive syntax. A markup language is used to format text documents. This can be by adding titles, italicizing words, adding code snippets, and even adding images. The reason why Markdown is so popular is because it's readable and very easy to use, as you will be seeing in a couple of minutes. You must be familiar with a few applications of Markdown. The README files and GitHub repos are written in Markdown. The lab reports you'll be submitting are also expected to be written in Markdown. Other applications include writing website content and technical reports. Markdown allows the insertion of code snippets and also mathematical equations, which makes it a very handy tool. So let's get familiarized with some of the syntax that Markdown uses. I'm using the PyCharm editor here. You can use any editor of your preference. Some notable ones are VS Code and Typora. So let's get started. So the left panel here is where I type the Markdown syntax, and the right panel here is basically the preview of the actual Markdown file. So I'll begin with comments. Comments can be used to describe the section that follows the comment. So the syntax is square brackets with 2 forward slashes, a colon, and less than and greater than symbols, followed by the comment within the parentheses. And as you can see, the comment doesn't appear in the preview. So moving on, let's see how we can write titles. So we use the pound symbol to write titles, and as you can see, the title has appeared in the preview. You can vary the number of pound symbols to change the font size of your title. With 3 pound symbols, it is smaller. And title 4, and title with 5 pound symbols. As you can see, the size decreases as you increase the number of pound symbols. Next up, let's see how we can write characters or words in bold. This is done by wrapping your sentence or your word with 2 asterisk symbols on either end of the sentence or word. So this sentence is bold, but you see that the sentence is not really bold, so we add the 2 asterisk symbols, and now the sentence is bold. Another thing you can note here is that in case you want to write the exact sentence with the symbols appearing as asterisks in the Markdown file, what you would have to do is escape the special characters by using the backslash. Now you see, you can just escape the asterisk symbol by using the backslash, and now you have the symbols appearing. Awesome. So the next thing we look at is how to write block. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to see how to write block quotes. So block quotes can be used to write questions and answers. We use the greater than symbol to create a block. What is the sum of 4 and 5? So as you can see in the preview, a block has been created. Now say you want to write the answer in a separate block, and you can see that there's this separate block created with the answer. The sum is 9. Great. So another very handy tool is that you can separate your sections using something that's known as a horizontal separator. And what that looks like is this. So you use 3 hyphen symbols to create a horizontal separator. It can also be done using 3 underscore symbols. Great. Now let's also see how we can insert code into our Markdown file. Code snippet. Now to do that, the syntax is basically 3 tilde symbols to indicate the beginning of the code, and we write Python here to indicate that the snippet is a piece of code written in the Python language. Say I want to create a function that multiplies two numbers, a and b. Now C is the product of a and b, and I want the function to return C. Great, I have my function defined. Now I want to end the snippet, and I end the code snippet using 3 tildes again. And as you can see, this snippet has been formed. Lastly, we are going to look at how to insert images and GIFs. So I'm adding a comment saying images and GIFs. The syntax to, okay, so first let's see the paths. So right now we're inside a folder called Markdown tutorial. You have your tutorial.md, which we're editing, and we have another folder called fig. Now within fig we have the lab0 sample image.jpg. Let's insert that first. The syntax is an exclamation mark, square brackets which contain the image caption, and then you have parentheses which contain the path of the image from the main directory of the file. So that's basically fig / lab0 _ sample image.jpg, and you can see that the sample image is now inserted in the Markdown file. Similarly, we want to insert the GIF. The path to the GIF is slightly different, so it's inside the folder fig. Within that there's another folder called GIFs, and you have the GIF inside that. So then fig / GIFs / lab0 sample video.gif, and you can see that the GIF has now been inserted. So that's it for the tutorial. I hope this helps organize your report better and make it more descriptive.